up, 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 and up. That's where home prices in Texas went last year in 2021 when money was so cheap and demand was so ridiculously high.
Hey Rod, right now we are having around $3,000 to $5,000 increases every week in most of our communities around town. So that's happening on a weekly basis.
That was last year, and when home prices rose and shot up so fast, so did home values here in New Braunfels and across Texas, and so did our property taxes. And that didn't sit well with anybody anywhere in Texas in a tax-friendly state. So what's the state's response to all of this? That's the focus of today's video. The state is possibly going to slash property taxes significantly. If you guys are new here to my channel, thank you so much for hopping on, because every week we're putting out relevant content just like this about what it's like to live in New Braunfels. It could be a little bit more tax-friendly living in New Braunfels and across Texas very soon. The state is considering a huge property tax cut.
But we have a one-time opportunity to do more than we've ever done before to reduce the price that taxpayers pay. I say that we use a large chunk of this money to provide the biggest property tax cut in the history of the state of Texas.
So the state has a surplus of $27 billion. And as you just heard, the governor wants to take about half that surplus, $13 billion, and pay off the school districts so that homeowners don't have to pay those school taxes and they get a big break on their property taxes. School taxes are by far the biggest, the largest portion of your property taxes here in Texas. But will this plan actually work? We'll get to that in just a second. But first, there is a way to lower property taxes here in Texas. It's called Homestead Exemptions. We did a video on that. If you want more information, it's in the description below. And you'll find out that homestead exemptions, like I just said, do help lower property taxes. And we have a rather generous homestead exemption here in the New Braunfels area. If you live within one of our school districts, you get an additional, get this, 20% local school homestead exemption. How's that? The average property tax in New Braunfels proper, 78130, the city, is anywhere between 2.15 and 2.23. Now, once you get out into the hill country, that number comes in many places below 2 because you're not paying city taxes. Both those rates are noticeably lower than the Austin area and just a tinge lower than the San Antonio area. So let's get back to the very topic, the topic of the state's surplus, and the governor wants to use half that surplus to significantly cut property taxes. Now, just to be clear, you might be saying, why can't they just do it now? Well, the state doesn't have the power to come into individual communities and just like that, abracadabra, lower home values. They don't have that power, but appraisal districts do. And appraisal districts flexed their power this year when thousands of homeowners got sticker shock when they opened their property tax bills. Many protested their taxable values and were able to get their values and property tax bills adjusted. So if you think your home is overvalued, you can always protest. But again, let's keep in mind, let's be clear, the state cannot come into individual communities and call upon the power of Zeus to just lower property values. Hey, your home is lower, yours is lower. Only appraisal districts can do that, which is why the governor wants to take $13 billion of the state's surplus and use that as a blanket to pay off school districts so that homeowners don't have to pay that large portion school tax in their property taxes. And guys, we're talking about possibly the largest ever property tax cut here in the state of Texas. So in theory, I mean, on paper, this plan sounds very doable, right? You're taking half the state's surplus, about $13 billion, and then paying off the school districts so that homeowners don't have to pay that school tax portion on their property tax bill. But you have to make sure you take care of the schools. You can't not take care of the schools, because if you do that, then schools go down the drain really quick, and so do your home values, and your property tax bill will go down. But that's not a good thing here, because your house is worth less, and that's not good either. So you have to take care of the schools, make sure those get funded first, which is in this plan. So when do we find out if we're paying significantly less in property taxes here in New Braunfels and across the state of Texas? We might know something in January, and that's when state lawmakers meet for their first session in 2023. So let's say this plan just doesn't pan out. It just doesn't work, right? There's still a way. This is not the best way, but there's still a way that our property tax bills will be lower in 2023. If you guys watch our channel, you know that the market, the housing market here and really everywhere else is a lot slower than it was in 2020 and 2021. And that means there's much less demand to buy homes, which means there are more homes piling up, competing against one another, which means home prices have decreased. And when that happens, home values will also decrease, which means that property tax bills should also decrease. So when might we know about that? Well, the county fans out all of its appraisers every January, and we'll know something in April or May. Right now, I want to hear from you guys. Did you get sticker shock when you received your property tax bill this year? Did you have it adjusted, or is it too late? Were you taxed out of your home? And if you're watching this and saying, you know, we pay less for property taxes where we're coming from, and your homes are still much more affordable than we have here in our states. If that's the case, and you're thinking about moving to the New Braunfels area, I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can email me, you can call me, or you can shoot me a text. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching our videos, and we'll see you on the next one.